Hi, welcome. This is Charles from UP-INT. Speak Out Upper Intermediate. Today we're going to look at Unit 4, 4.1, Grammar Practice, Present and Past Habits. Overview. First we have to look at the definition of what is habit. Then we do some practices 1 and 2. At the end we look at further study and practice. Definition of a habit. Habit is a noun. Habit is something we do often and regularly. For example, I always shower every morning. A reminder, please, there are two types of verbs in English: action verbs and stative verbs. Stative verbs do not show any physical action as they are tied with feelings, thoughts and possession. Let's start with the present action. The present tense is used for habitual actions plus adverbs of frequency. Some examples are always, sometimes, never, often, and so forth. Now this is very important, guys. The position of the adverbs of frequency. They follow more or less this rule. First, they go before the main verb. For example, I often go to the gym. After the verb to be, always. An example is, some students are always late for class. Thirdly, between the auxiliary verb, that means the helping verb, and the principal verb. This is just one example. We shall never be able to go abroad. Now we come to the habitual action in the past. Used to and would. Used to can be used with both action and stative verbs, but would can only be used with action verbs. Naturally, such actions would have happened in the past, but no longer continue in the present. That's why we said it's the habitual action in the past. Now, this is a little form review of how it works. So can I give you a moment to look at it? Again, here, there are some notes how the habitual actions and states in the past work by using used to and verb and would and verb. There is a bit of a repetition, okay? Used to and would express habitual, that means repetitive actions that occurred in the past but are no longer valid in the present. Again, please, would is only used with action verb, not state verbs. Please keep that in mind. So look a bit at this information before I move on. Now we come to practice 1. We're going to deal with present habits. Answer the following questions by using adverbs of frequency. How often do you go online? How often do you have breakfast? How often do you go on a date? Lucky you. And how often do you have a lion? Fifth one, how often do you drink coffee? And lastly, how often do you go to the gym? So now please, from your part, pause the video and answer these questions. Now we come to the answer key. The answers, of course, vary because they are personal questions. All the following are accepted. The adverbs of frequency: always, almost never, usually, sometimes, rarely, frequently, and so forth. Now we come to practice 2. Now here, it's an exercise where you have to fill in the gaps by using the correct form of either used to or would. First question. When I was a kid, I liked the Beatles. Number 2. I, fill in the blank, asked my older brother for money when I went traveling. Number 3. When we were young, my mother, blank, wake us up every morning for breakfast. 4. When my boss, fill in the blank, call, I, fill in the blank, answer straight away. Please can you stop and pause the video by answering that exercise. Now these are the answers. When I was a kid, I used to like the Beatles. I would ask, number 2, my older brother for money when I went traveling. Number 3 is a bit tricky, guys. Okay. When we were young, my mother would wake us up every morning for breakfast. Why did I use would? Because she was used to waking us up. So can you please reflect a bit on that question, please? Yeah? Last one. When my boss used to call, I would answer straight away. So you have to fill and think about those 2 gaps. Now, further studies and practice, refer to the book on page 135, 4.1, exercises A and B. You have a link to about how you use better used to and would. So go to that link, Learning English from British Council. Secondly, when you have chance, write a paragraph comparing your high school studying approach with that at university. So write a short paragraph explaining and comparing your high school studying approach or technique with that at university. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of information. Yeah? Thank you and look after yourself.